now belongs to the MC.
Hello YouTube and welcome back to Old Flads. This is PlanetSide 2 and I have some incredible footage to show you over the next 6-7 minutes, so sit back and enjoy that. But what I wanted to talk to you about is PlanetSide 2 related, of course, is the factions. I managed in my excitement during the first video to sort of touch upon the fact there are factions and then completely ignore them. So what I intend on doing is just quickly giving you a run through of what people look like, because you're going to be seeing different colours. There's going to be blues, purples, reds, and you're going to be wondering what's going on, no doubt, those of you that haven't played PlanetSide 2. And I thought I'd just give you a very quick potted history, I suppose, is probably the best way to describe it. Now, if there are any flaws, then please let me know. And also, if you'd like to play with us, then come over to the Steam group, join in, get involved in the TeamSpeak, and then you can just come and play with us, and we'll have a laugh, and you can join the outfit, and then we can all rock together and hopefully not die too much. Although, one of the important things about PlanetSide 2 is that you have to completely ignore the KD. It's a complete irrelevance. This entire game is one massive objective-based game. Okay, so you're going to find yourself not so much worrying about dying, it's more important about defending your spawns and the territory control than it is just bundling through and trying to keep a remarkable KD. Now, lots of people will have a good KD, and people that are very good at flying, for example, will have a very good KD, and the people that like sniping and are very good at sniping and do that exclusively, they will also have a very good KD. Now, these all work towards the objective, of course. It doesn't help if you die all the time, but you just got to bear in mind that when playing PlanetSide 2, you really are playing towards winning potential areas instead of worrying about dying. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked anymore. That's 2.5 minutes in, and I've already managed to lose my thought train. Anyway, so we're back onto the factions. So there are 3 factions in PlanetSide 2. You have the Terran Republic, the New Conglomerate, and the Vanu Sovereignty. Now, basically, the backstory behind it is that when Auraxis was discovered by travellers on Earth, for centuries they lived together really nicely, and everything was quite good. There was like lines in the sand that were drawn, and people said, you don't go here, you don't go here, we're staying here, you're staying there, and everyone was quite happy. Okay, and then the Terran Republic, who were like the authoritarianist regime at the time, they had their ideas, and the New Conglomerate was sort of like the profit hungry, and they were actually, J-Track has actually described them as Space America. So I'm not commenting on that. I'm of course impartial, and I do love America. But he said that the New Conglomerate are like Space America. So they decided that they weren't going to get along, and things eventually came to a head. Now, when you have the third faction, and that is the Vanu Sovereignty. Now, these guys were sort of they're described as like a borderline cultic. Faction's not quite the word, but what they are, they're a group, and they have a vastly advanced technological capabilities, and they declared their independence. So now you've got the 3 factions. You've got the Terran Republic, who are fighting to keep everything in check. You've got the New Conglomerate that want the money and basically the profits of all the materials and resources on Auraxis, and you have the Vanu Sovereignty, who sort of found themselves in third place, well, not third place, but as the third faction. I think they were quite happy to work with everyone, but in the end, everyone just said, no, you're either with us or against us, and they weren't with them, and they weren't technically against them, but it's sort of how it ends. So you see, I suppose it is a little bit like America. You're either with America or you're against America, and there's no real middle ground with them. Anyway, so colour wise, so that you can, guys, while you're watching these videos of me shooting a lot of bullets and but hopefully doing some good stuff, the Terran Republic, okay, who are quite frankly a bunch of gits, or the Derp Republic, it might be better to describe them as that. I'm sure Rodney will actually really appreciate me saying that. They are the red team. So in basics speech, they are the red team. So you will notice that they'll pop up not as red red dots. Red cursors above the head simply mean enemy. Now I think I can change that. In fact, I'm almost certain I can change that. So I probably should change that. But they'll be wearing the red uniforms, and their weaponry is sort of based around cutting edge military as we know it. So they have the very powerful tanks, but they've got very rapid fire guns that don't do huge amounts of damage straight away, but are cutting edge with regards to the technology they use. So they'll be far more accurate, far more effective as burst fires over sort of multitudes of distances, really. Now the new conglomerate, as the sort of breakaway rebels, if you like, they've got weapons that I would describe as being what they could get together. I mean, they obviously have their munitions factories that they could sort out, but these were sort of the guys that managed to get whatever weapons they could. As a result, their weapons are clunky's probably not quite the right word. Raw is probably a better word. They sound great. I think that's why I like the new conglomerate so much. Their weapons sound so good. When you hit something, it thumps. It doesn't just sort of pew pew like the Vanu does. It actually thumps in and makes a proper noise, and I think that's why I love that. In fact, it's great. And we're the blue team, which is also good because Chelsea play in blue. So lastly, we move on to the Vanu sovereignty. Now, as you see, they look the most space age and most technologically advanced. They do look alien in their appearance, and they've also they use laser weapons that don't have quite as much accuracy, not accuracy as power, but they do have the accuracy and the ability to just keep going and keep going and keep going. So you have your three factions. You decide what one you want to go for. You decide on the colour initially, and then you go on and you develop a bit of a love for it, and I am loving it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope that clears up the factions. I've been Old Flads, and you should be seeing more of this soon. Cheers, and goodbye.